5 miles per hour. It does look like the Weather Service is going to let this go a little bit longer, but I'd say it's really close to, what is that, Morgan County Highway turning into 62 as you go further east into Morgan County. So if you're familiar with that, again, very close to the Wartburg area itself. And that would be from there, heads up Elizabeth. That's coming up at 7:38. There's a new update. Again, it looks pretty broad. If there is anything, it's probably right over the Wartburg, between Wartburg and Elizabeth as we speak, but it doesn't look as pronounced as it did earlier, but don't want to let our guard down. I will say if you're in Catoosa, back through Deermont, Pine Orchard, for now, you are clear from this warned storm earlier. Yeah, again, it would be very difficult to even see this at this point because of all the heavy rainfall that we have across this area. So pretty difficult. But again, if we have it, it's right through here between Wartburg and Elizabeth, moving very quickly up towards Scott County. So it's not to Lone Mountain or Cordell yet, which is in Scott County, but they do have this warning still on it. Let me put another track. I know I'm doing this often, but I want to make sure we're staying ahead of this system so you know when it could be headed your way. There's the update: Elizabeth 7:39, Mill Creek 7:48, Hembry at 7:52. There's Robbins Elementary at 7:57, so that's going to be up here into Scott County. Cordell around 7:58, and the same thing for the New River area. So again, this tornado warning, I'd say it's right along Morgan County Highway where it splits there with 62, just north of that at this point, very close to it, if not just north of it. Again, you won't be able to see it because of the heavy rainfall if there is an actual tornado with this, because the rain is so heavy with this system coming down. Back further to the south and west, Cumberland County, compared to where we were earlier, we're doing much better. This is just rain. But as this whole line moves east, we're going to have to watch for these potential storms to keep developing in the areas that have not seen storm development. And the ones with these little appendages, those are the ones that I'm very concerned about through McMinn County. These are the ones that'll be heading north. So Roane, Loudon, severe thunderstorm warning now, but they do have that possible tornado tag on them. But Margot, I want you to watch that one near Athens, and I'll keep watching this one here near Wartburg. So it would be right through here. It looks like maybe that center rotation, maybe just a little farther south of this one now, right there between Wartburg and the Grove Community, Liberty. So again, that's right along 62, right where it connects there with the Morgan County Highway and goes up to Annandale. Fork Mountain 747, Braytown 751, and again, look how the forward speed, it's even increased. It's showing a 56 miles per hour. It's moving off to the northeast, so it doesn't give you much time when these warnings do come out. So there's Lone Mountain. Now we'd be up into Scott County, the southern sections. Hembry at 7:52 and Lone Mountain at 7:52. So giving you enough time to go ahead and get into your safe spot as we speak. We'll see if they continue to extend this warning, but at this point, that one needs to be watched. And Margot, keep an eye on that one to the south. If anything does jump out, just let me know, but we'll stay on this tornado warning here for Scott County for another 20 minutes. Really, maybe some broad rotation at this point, right at the fork there of 62 as this moves to the north. I'll quickly just go back to what the reflectivity, what it looks like. There's some very heavy rainfall at minimum. Kind of the outline of that, you're going to see winds maybe 50 plus miles per hour, but it's inside that where we've seen those little spin ups, the quick rotations that, excuse me, we have to watch across the area. So maybe there's the updated scan. So probably just along or north of Morgan County Highway in 62 now in northeastern sections of Morgan County. Back to the south, at this point you're in the clear. So Fairfield, Glade, you're okay for now. Down through Harriman for now, but we need to keep an eye on that. Again, really hard to tell with this. Margaret, I'm going to let you talk about those storms further to the south if you could, and I want to look at something else real quick, but we'll get back to me in just a second. But what are you seeing down there to the south with those storms in the Southern Valley? There's multiple, characteristics that we're looking for with the system moving on through, and one of those are these appendages. You can see kind of the purple here. They kind of look like commas. Right now, two of those appendages that we're keeping a very close eye on are in Ray and Meigs County, but they also are on the outer edge of
of McMinn County as well. And I saw on National Weather Service chat that over in Pikeville, they saw some rotation, not an evident funnel cloud, but this is definitely something we need to take. There's a, as tornado warning coming out of Loudoun County? Okay, so let's move over to Loudoun County over there, just so that way we're able to kind of see what's going on. This is attached to that.
Northern McMinn.
Northern McMinn, excuse me.
But the tornado warning extends north. It's the cell in Northern McMinn County.
Okay, so near Erie.
That one right there.
Yes, okay, cool. So let's take a zoomed in look kind of closer towards this area of interest, kind of closer towards Erie, Collins Mill. You can see this appendage. It's very, very evident right here. And again, this tornado warning, let's see, it lasts until 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we have about 50 minutes with this. Let's take a look at those winds, kind of that rotation. This is closer towards the Union Grove area, and this is moving closer towards Luttrell, Cedar Fork, closer towards Erie, and it's going to continue to track north and east there. But again, you can see that rotation moving through Union Grove. So go ahead, get in your safe places there. Luttrell, get in your safe places. Same with Old Sweetwater. If you're near Sweetwater High School, go ahead, get your into your safe places. Same with Philadelphia, a little further north, Paint Rock, Adolphus, Dogwood Shores. And again, this is a new tornado warned storm moving through Monroe County, extending on into McMinn County as well, Roane and Loudoun. So again, this is those are those appendages that we've been talking about that we're keeping a very close eye on.
Funnel cloud reported with that McMinn County storm.
Okay. I'm gonna let you take over from here so I can get my map situated, Ken.
Okay, yeah, definitely want to be watching this one again. This is the tornado warning. We will get back to Morgan County, I promise. I'm just not seeing quite the rotation there as what we were earlier. If anything, it may have shifted a little further to the south, just north of Petros. So we'll see what they do with that. But this one is of definite concern, and we're going to have to do this as we go through the night. We're going to have to jump around. But this is in northern McMinn County. You see this cell right here about to cross over. There was a report with a funnel cloud with that just a few minutes ago. So this is Loudoun County. This is northern sections of Monroe County, and this is, where are we? Anderson, or Roane County, sorry. So right there where Roane County comes together with McMinn, Loudoun, and Monroe. So right all in that same area. I'll put a quick track. This is the warning that goes until 8:30, and it's with this cell that's racing to the north and east. And I'm just going to keep this on here. I'll clean it up just a little bit. Right through here. So again, this is our shear rate product. We're seeing some moderate shear showing up with this, meaning change of wind direction with height or possible rotation with this. And that's why they went ahead and issued a tornado warning with this, plus the evidence of the funnel cloud that was reported by the public. So Union Grove 745, the Riddle Store area 746, if you're familiar with that. Luttrell, which is not the Union County one, that's at 749. Cedar Fork at 751, Fochie at 754, and Barnardsville at 756. So this would track quickly to the north. It's moving at 57 miles per hour. That's why the warnings are so big and extended over a long period of time. Give you enough time to get into your safe areas. I said earlier, they're going to be moving between 40 and 60 miles per hour, and that has definitely been the case. But this is the one we're certainly keeping an eye on right through here. It's extreme northern sections of McMinn County and moving very, very quickly. Margot, anything else that you've seen?
Not reporting anything so far, but again, they did get a report from a spotter of a funnel cloud in McMinn County.
Yeah.
And that was near Baker Elementary School with a report of a funnel. And I just want to kind of point out this warning does, in case I-75 and I-40, where that split is, this kind of rotation is just north of I-75, in the Philadelphia area. And again, this is a tornado warned storm, and they're getting reports. So if you are in those areas under that warning, or if you're just under that severe thunderstorm warning, go ahead and get into your safe place. Again, the most center portion of your house, where there's no windows and there are no outside walls. And again, keeping a very close eye on that rotation. And again, these storms moving on through, you're not going to be able to see them. You see that pink and that black on there. That's indicating to us that we are seeing very, very heavy rain. And Ken, it looks like we've got that little funnel right there. Our little can just popped up with that tornado warning.
Yeah, so that's like, it kind of gives us a heads up that the computer system we have is seeing some rotation with that. So that's what we're looking at when that pops up across the area. What I'm also doing is I'm going to turn our camera that's down at Tellico Village at Tenasseee Cove, I'm turning that more back towards the south and west, and he's got that pulled up for me. So we will keep an eye on this. We're looking back towards the south and west. This is kind of right there where close to the new clubhouse is being built. So it would be...
So right now, just going to have that focus on McMinn and Roane, Loudoun, and Monroe counties.
Okay, as we mentioned earlier, the one we were watching up here through Morgan County, now Scott and Campbell, they've switched that to a severe thunderstorm warning. We still could at some point see some rotation with that. Could be a tornado again at some point, but for now they've downgraded that, and this is the one that we really need to focus on right through here, folks. It's coming right out. There's the Luttrell area. So we're coming into southwestern sections of Loudoun County. There's I-75 going back down through northwest Monroe and into McMinn County. And anytime we see the little circle that shows up, it kind of, it's seeing an enhanced area of rotation with this. And it's moving northeast at 60 miles per hour, 59 miles per hour. Not much hail with this. And I don't think, at least in this immediate setup we've seen, we're going to see much in the way of hail. Definitely more of a tornadic threat like we're seeing across the area right now. And again, we always watch this little value here. It's called a virtual threat index. What that tells us is when that level gets higher, if it keeps going up each scan, then what we're seeing is that storm actually intensifying or getting stronger. And it did go up from a 2.4 to a 2.8 in the last scan, so that's telling me it's at least starting to get a little more organization with the last couple of scans. So it's right over the Luttrell area right now. Again, that is not up there in Union County. That's going to be in the extreme southern sections there of Loudoun County where it meets with McMinn County. Fochie, 754, Prospect, 757, Adolphus, Midway, Ponders, Dogwood Shores, all right before the top of the hour. And again, these are racing very quickly. It doesn't give you much time to get into your safe spot. That's why we're giving you as much opportunity as possible. And again, this warning will go until 8:30. This is the area we're focusing on. There's Sweetwater High School, so it would be just to your west. This it does include Philadelphia. It's right on the edge of it. But I would say it's going to be to the west of I-75 corridor right now on this current path. That's the main area of focus, and it won't be long before this quickly gets up into Roane County. So this is, again, the southwestern part of Loudoun County where it gets a little skinnier there. This is the southern sections of Roane County making its way north and east. So Paint Rock, 757, Midway, 759, and Dogwood Shores right at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. That's definitely the one that's showed the most rotation, the strongest one across the area. Margot, anything in and around the Knoxville area? Because we just got some reports of some lightning outside. Or is that just from storms in the distance?
That's just from storms in the distance.
Okay.
Do also want to point out, though, that they're kind of getting local reports of thunderstorm thunderstorm wind damage, excuse me, from these storms moving on in. So not only do we have that, rotational threat for tornado warned storms, but we also have those really quick winds moving on in. Still focusing on that storm moving through. Again, next up will be Cook Mill at 753. We have Paint Rock at 756, Adolphus at 758, and Dogwood Shores at 759. And I have it kind of zoomed out a little bit so I can show you this is heading towards the I-75, I-40 where they meet just before you get into West Knox County. So definitely something to keep our eyes on. This, again, as Ken mentioned, is the most rotation we've seen so far this evening. And again, our severe threat is going to continue throughout this evening, going into the overnight hours. as we watch as this strong cold front moves on through. But again, still keeping a very, very close eye. Kind of going to move up our map a little bit, just that way you can see kind of next up again, Adolphus. There's Midway Elementary, Anglers Cove, there we go, Kingston, Harriman, Oakdale, ORNL, Lenore City High School. This is kind of within that warning zone, so just be aware of this and go ahead and get into your safe places. And again, we're keeping up with the tornado warning. We're keeping up with the rotation as well as the winds, reading to see if there's any reports of anything. I'm feeling my watch buzz. Ken, is there any updates?
They cleared McMinn, okay, so good. McMinn County has been cleared as this storm has moved out now of the McMinn County area, but still continuing. Monroe, southern sections of Loudoun County, really it'll be the western half, we'll say, of Loudoun County. Basically, if you're west of I-75 in Loudoun County, you're included with this, and up into Roane County as well. So this is going to come up the I-75 corridor and probably go right over I-40 at some point before it kind of gets out of Roane County. So probably just west of Eaton Crossroads, if you know where that is, if you're going into West Knox County. So that area right through here, I'll put a track, that's the warning that goes again until 8:30. Rotation's been very impressive with this cell, and it's moving very quickly. So again, can't say, so right through there. So again, that's right on the border there between Roane County and Loudoun County, right through there. That would be the area of concern I would have, is right there, that area. So turn that one off. So yeah, just updated right through there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer. Paint Rock, Cook Mill, right in your area now. So 753, right about now, is where that circulation could be. Prospect, 758, Dogwood Shores, 759. If you live near Midway Elementary, you know where that is. Anglers Cove, Laurel Bluff, we're starting to get up there right along the river going up into Morgan, or Roane County rather. You need to make sure you're in your safe spot. We've seen it kind of holding its own in that virtual threat index, again at that 2.8. It's just an empirical number that kind of lets us know, again, if that storm is getting stronger, getting weaker with each scan that comes in, and the scans are getting quicker and quicker from the radar sweeping around because of the types of storms we're seeing. They want to get a good handle on them as quickly as they're moving, again, northeast at nearly 60 miles per hour. So McMinn County is clear. I would say almost in Monroe County, not quite yet, at least northwest Monroe County. We're almost done. Give it a couple more seconds here. So I'd say Sweetwater High School area south, you're okay. Hiawassee College is okay. It's north of that we've got the concern with this. So just on the border now between Loudoun and Roane County. That's going to be Fochie coming up in the next couple of minutes. Paint Rock 757. Anglers Cove at 8:02. Right here, Dogwood, that'll be coming up just past the top of the hour, and Crestwood at 8:04. So again, could be close to that I-40 corridor running back through Roane County between Kingston over to about the Eaton Crossroads area. Eaton Crossroads is right where 40 and 75 split in that area. So there's Cook Mill. It would be just there or north of that circulation, right where the red and the green are next to each other. That's the areas we're definitely keeping an eye on. So rotation counterclockwise with this cell. Margot, anything else that we're watching further south? That's the thing. We're going to see these storms racing to the north and east now, and eventually they're going to be pushing in our direction, heading towards, eventually towards the Knoxville area. The storms that may continue to develop down to our south and west. Nothing there yet, but just want to keep an eye. Anything else popping up down there at this time?
Not right now, but
Okay.
keeping a very close eye on this appendage kind of near the Decatur community there, as well as Dayton. This is just south of Pikeville and Spring City. So we've still got these very, very evident appendages sticking with us, especially further south of our viewing area. And what I mean by these appendages, these are kind of those systems that we watch out for, especially considering of those quick spin up tornadoes. And again, that's farther south, kind of in Ray and Meigs counties. And again, they still have this tornado warning storm closer towards Bledsoe County, and that lasts until 7:15 Central Time, 8:15 our time. And again, that's just south of the Cumberland County line there. But I think they're going to let that one expire. And again, we're still keeping a very close eye on the one moving through Roane and Loudon. As Ken mentioned, this system is most likely going to pass over I-40 right there, just outside of the Farragut community, and head towards, Oak Ridge, Clinton. And this is definitely a storm system, no matter if the rotation broadens out, that we're still going to keep a very close eye on, because, I mean, taking a zoomed in look to that area specifically, I mean, it's got some rotation, doesn't it, Ken?
It really does. So this area right through here, again, it's in Paint Rock, so we're basically into Roane County, but it's really bordering Loudon County as well. So it's really close. There's Cook Mill, so it'd be just north of that. Dogwood Shores, 757. Again, I know there's a lot of colors, there's a lot of lines on here. Let me see if I can make it just a little bit simpler. The flashing red, those are our tornado warnings. There's also an encompassed severe thunderstorm warning in this, but the tornado warning superseded it. They put out the severe thunderstorm warning first, and then they saw this rotation like we have, so the tornado warning takes over on that. But here's Interstate 40 that runs through Roane County, 75 south, so it's right where it splits. To put it in perspective, here's downtown Knoxville. So that's going west and that's going south. It's right in between the two. And it looks like the meat of it, if you will, the best rotation, the strongest rotation we're seeing is basically right on the border between Roane County and Loudon County, moving to the north. And this thing's racing. It's moving at 56 miles per hour to the north-northeast. So it wouldn't take long for it to get to the I-40 corridor. Dogwood, 759, Cedar Grove at 802. There's Cherokee Middle School, if you're familiar where that is. Again, that's just north of the Crestwood community, and that storm's going to be there in less than 5 minutes the way it's going. A lot of lightning with these as well, but again, it's dark. Sun has set now across the area, and you're not going to be able to see these with all the rainfall that we have. Moisture very heavy. With this, there's a lot of rainfall across the area. Margo?
Ken, they're correcting the tornado warning for McMinn, Monroe counties. They're actually going to continue that for McMinn County, Monroe, Loudon, and Roane. So definitely got to keep an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on the Pikeville area. That's, again, not our viewing area, but there's an image of rotation that has just come out of there from the
McMinn's been canceled, is what they're saying.
Oh, yes. There was rotation, though, evident there. An image came out.
Oh, I'm sorry, an image came out?
In the Pikeville area.
Okay.
Yes.
But McMinn County has been dropped from the tornado warning. It's only going to be, in fact, Monroe County, I would say you are out of this. If you will come back to me, Connor, on camera here. Northwest Monroe County, I'd say you're clear from this because the rotation's north. It's literally right on the border between Loudon County and Roane County where this is. And again, I'll put the communities back up on this. There's I-75, this gold line right through here, goes down through Philadelphia, Loudon, down through Monroe and McMinn. For now, McMinn and Monroe, you're fine. You've been cleared from this. But Roane County, definitely keeping an eye on this, headed up towards the Kingston Elementary area, if you're familiar with that. Cedar Grove, 805, Hamilton Subdivision, 805, and New Midway at 805 as well. Still showing that threat index 2.7. It was a 2.8 a minute ago, so maybe recycling just a little bit. We'll see, but still very potent, this cell, as it's moving to the northeast very quickly. And I want to pull back out, the tornado warning expires right after it gets across Interstate 40, so we'll see if they reissue that. This tornado warning back into Bledsoe County, that is not in our viewing area, but Margo, I want you to keep an eye on that in case it gets up into Cumberland County, please. We will watch that, and if it does, just yell and we'll get you to cover that. But let's stay on this one. This one certainly seems to have the most interest, I'd say, at this point. They are continuing this one. They did take Monroe out, which makes sense. What camera is this? I can't see up there. Okay, 75 south before the split, and then the top camera looks like that's our Tellico Village at Tenasseee Cove. So we've got our TDOT Smartway in the bottom. Top is going to be the Tellico Village camera, which at this point you're probably not going to be able to see that storm. It's too far to the north and west, and if I turn that camera a little bit more, you're going to see the side of the building that camera is mounted on. But this is definitely the one that we're keeping an eye on now. It's, again, right on the border between Loudoun and Monroe counties, near Cave Creek at 8:05, High Point 8:07, Lawnville at about 8:07 as well. This warning goes for another 30 minutes. We'll see if they extend it. I think it'll have to do with if they see this kind of tighten up, recycle, because compared to where it was, it's not as potent, but still has my attention, if that makes sense. I want to play it back from the past 30 minutes, and you can see what I was talking about. It definitely was showing signs of very tight. I'll slow it down just a little bit as it made its way up through McMinn, probably right where they had that report of the funnel cloud earlier, moving to the north and east. So yes, still needs to be watched very carefully. We'll continue to do that. And we'll see if they extend it a little further once it crosses the I-40 corridor. If so, we'd be talking about maybe the western and southern parts of Anderson County and maybe even West Knox. So there's the west side of Knox, southern Anderson, Oak Ridge to Farragut, down through Choteau, maybe even Hardin Valley area. We'll see. I'd say at least southern Anderson, just heads up now. We'll see if this gets extended. We still got a little bit of time. This warning goes officially till 8:30, but I will say that it's kind of getting on to the very end, or almost to the end of where that polygon for the warning has been drawn. So we'll see if they extend that again. It's right pretty close to the 40-75 split. The middle school, northwest middle that's out there, it's pretty close to that area, maybe just to the west of that. Let's take a look at the Oral Community, 806, Chestnut Hills, 808, and Buttermilk Shores at 808 as well. That's going to be out I-40 as you're going back into Roane County, that Buttermilk Shores area. So we'll see. Margot, anything else on that storm back into Bledsoe County? Anything getting close to Cumberland at this point, or are we still okay?
Right now we seem to
Wait. They're going to reissue the tornado for the Roane-Loudoun.
So it includes Knox County now.
Yeah, so it's this one. They're again, same thing I just said. It's getting close to the end of that warning. So in just a second, you'll see it pop up. It's probably going to include at least southern Anderson, maybe West Knox. There it is. And interesting, did you see what it is? This is a confirmed tornado. So there is confirmation, not just radar indication, but there is confirmation there is a tornado with this. Let's see what the verbiage says. They have, I want to get the wording to make sure. All right, confirmed tornado near Loudoun, moving northeast at 50. So it's right there. Again, it's going to be, I'd say it's actually northwest of Loudoun. This cell now is getting really close to I-40. And again, moving northeast fast at 60. So that's why they extended the tornado warning as an observed or confirmed tornado. It's going to just barely clip West Knox, but more so, I'd say, southern Anderson, anywhere from Oak Ridge up through Buffalo Mountain, Windrock Mountain. Please get in your safe spot now. But immediately to the north of this, we're talking Bradbury at 807, Rogers Ridge subdivision 808, Chestnut Hills 809, and Buttermilk Shores 809. So again, we're very close to that I-40 corridor. Connor, I don't know if you can look TDOT, see if you can go on I-40 past the split there. I don't know, or Margot even, if you can pull up our traffic camera over there and look to see if there are any cameras that are running along I-40, because we might be able to see this cross over shortly here. But again, the flashing kind of pink purple box that you see, that now means it's a confirmed tornado. A spotter has reported it. Which made sense. Again, we showed you how tight that rotation looked with that system as it was going through portions of Loudoun and Roane and northern McMinn County earlier. I would say for now, most of Loudoun County, It's close. If you live west of 75 in Loudoun County, you still need to be in your safe area, and especially right where Roane, Knox, and Loudoun come together, and Anderson. So kind of that 4-county area, anybody in there, please make sure you're in your safe spot. So again, the updated areas we're talking about here, you'll see the times change as we go through time here. But Century Acres at 811, Chestnut Hills 811, Buttermilk Shores the same. Again, these aren't big hail producers. There could be some, maybe some pea-sized hail. Bigger impact, obviously, the potential for tornadoes with these storms going through. Margot, have you been able to find anything or no?
So I'm looking along 40 here. It's definitely a lightning show outside.
Okay.
Definitely seeing a lot of lightning. Kind of hard to tell right now. I don't know if the cameras are just frozen or not, but definitely something to watch for, especially since it's crossed 40 now, heading towards, more of our viewing area. And again, like you said, it's a confirmed tornado by a spotter.
Okay. So again, we'll stay on this, but again, it's very close to the I-40 corridor. Let me zoom in. So right there near New Midway, almost to Bradbury, right through here, actually right at the base of where that dot is, where the arrow is drawn, is pretty close to where that rotation would be. So again, there's I-40 going from Kingston all the way back to the 40-75 split. So right there, you see the update right around New Midway. So New Midway to Bradbury, please be in your safe spot. Right now, you're basically out of time. You need to be in it now. If you live just north of the I-40 corridor there into Roane and Anderson County, get in your safe spot. Hail in Roane County? Okay. There probably is. Yeah, you can see the hail track from the past 15 minutes. It has produced some hail. I would imagine ours is estimating maybe 1.25 inches. I think that's probably a little large. I would say probably just a little smaller than that. But of course, tornado is going to be our biggest threat with this. And that center of circulation, again, getting really close to the I-40 area right now, moving to the northeast. So there's Anderson County, there's ORNL, there's Century Acres. So we're getting pretty close. But again, the flashing purple basically means it's a confirmed tornado from a spotter. I would say at this point, if you're down near Philadelphia, the severe thunderstorm warning is still ongoing, and it's probably back because of this cell as well, back here between Johnson and Erie. That will need to be watched as well. But certainly the cell of most concern is this one. And I want to kind of show you what we're talking about. It's when they get out ahead of a main line of storms like this one. It's kind of by itself. Those are the ones we have to keep the closest eye on. Those are the ones that show and have shown the potential for tornadic development, and that has definitely been the case. So still in Roane County, right there with Anderson County, that's where the main rotation with this system has been. So anybody in this area, Bradbury 813, Chestnut Hills 814, Buttermilk Shores 814.
Possible funnel cloud spotted near Lenoir City right now.
Near Lenoir City. It's got to be to the west side, and it's got to be looking back to that. I would imagine it's probably illuminated by lightning because there is so much. It's not in Lenoir City or Loudoun, but I would be willing to bet they're just looking at that storm back to the west, and that makes sense. That would make sense. So if you're, again, just west of I-75 in Loudoun County, that is a concern, this system. In fact, we're seeing some pretty decent rotation right there between New Midway and Bradbury. Again, it's right close to the I-40 corridor, so heads up ORNL. This is I-40 at the Watt Road, the truck scale, so it's before you go down the hill there. I don't know if we can go a little farther west. Connor, if there is one past the 40-75 split. Can't see anything at this point. Okay. Hey, Margot, I want you to take over with this and follow this. I want to check something real quick, but go ahead and let's focus on that storm again that's about to cross I-40 there in Roane County moving into Anderson.
Yeah, no, keeping a very close eye again because it is a confirmed tornado. Also do want to point out those appendages just south of Loudon near Nyota and Athens. Got to keep a close eye on those because those are definitely going to be something to consider moving forward. But again, we are keeping a very close eye on this confirmed tornado warned storm. And let's take a look just to see areas that are going to be affected here soon. Let's clear this out of here real quick. So next up would be Buttermilk Shores at 8:13 p.m. Then you have Union at 8:14 p.m., Pawpaw Plains at 8:14 p.m., and Heartland Estates. And again, this is going across 40 right now near the Bradbury community, Chestnut Hills. Make sure you're in your safe place. Same with ORNL. And I know this is just west of the Farragut area, the Hardin Valley area, but still go ahead and get in your safe place, especially if you're near the Solway community, even Clinton, Frost, Braytown, Stainville, all of these areas that I've just listed off. Go ahead, get into your safe place. Again, this is a confirmed tornado with hail associated with it, very gusty winds, and you can just kind of see the appendage that's right there near Chestnut Hill and Bradbury. Again, this is crossing 40, and we're going to continue to watch everything as we move forward. Yes, Ken?
Traffic is really slowed down approaching that area. There's the cell. I called up the cameras here. I'm not seeing a whole lot from this. Traffic does appear to be moving along, but we've got some very heavy rainfall. This traffic here is going back towards that cell, and then the one further here to the east, right there near Pawpaw Plains, traffic just really at a crawl right now because of this heavy rainfall. Most likely some hail with this as well. But again, that cell, I can't see it, but I think it's probably crossed and gone north of the interstate at this point. But again, just want to quickly point that out, that area, that cell has crossed I-40 now and is making its way into Anderson County, getting pretty close now to that Anderson County border. Margot?
Yeah, definitely getting close to that Anderson County border. And I know I mentioned West Knox County near Hardin Valley Academy, Solway, Ball Camp. Yes, that is just east of this appendage, but it's better to be safe and go ahead and get into your safe place. Just kind of taking a zoomed in look again where Ken was watching where that appendage is. This is affecting again Pawpaw Plains, even close towards Buttermilk Shores, moving closer to ORNL. There's Century Acres right there, heading on into Anderson County. Oak Hill Estates is up next, taking kind of a more northerly look. Next up would be Oak Ridge, Highland View School, Dosset. You even have Oliver Springs closer towards Oak Hill Estates again, and it's just going to continue to move north. But again, this is a confirmed tornado. This warning lasts until 8:45, and we will be staying on as long as there is a warning in place for our viewing area. And we're definitely going to have to really keep a very close eye on the system as it continues to move north, because again, this is what we've been watching for throughout the evening going into the overnight hours here soon. These little small appendages that look like they're storms on their own, especially when they kind of look like this comma looking kind of storm. This is when we know that, hey, there's rotation there. And again, this was moving across I-40 and it's going to continue to move north. Eventually it's going to affect Oliver Springs near Highland View School, Oak Ridge, Dosset, even just north of, or even just east of Jonesville. Ken?
This is like the first cell that we've seen that's had a long track of hail. And what that's telling me is there is definitely some rotation and rapidly rising air in here. And that's what we're seeing with this hail being produced crossing I-40. But it is definitely still showing that rotation pretty close to ORNL right now, right over the area. In fact, I'll zoom in just south of Y-12 is where that rotation would be. So there's Bethel Valley Road. So kind of running parallel to that, moving to the northeast. That's where that rotation is right now as we speak. So they're still continuing. They've canceled Loudon and Roan. They've taken them out of the tornado warning, which is good for now. You are clear, Loudon and Roan. So this bottom part here will get dropped out. Still under a severe thunderstorm warning, I believe. Let me double check with this storm here. So still under a severe thunderstorm warning there. But again, the tornado warning will be dropped here. So Dogwood, Adolphus, For now, you are clear, but this is one we're definitely watching. Where you see this very dark shading, that black almost coloring, that's the high reflectivity showing up, and that's telling me that's hail. We're getting some rain here at our studios, but this is just rain that's coming in. Nothing severe here, but that cell is definitely the one we need to be keeping an eye on. Still seeing some rotation with this. Right there, again, between ORNL and Y12, right around Bethel Valley Road, headed up towards Scarborough. Please make sure you're in your safe spot. Again, this goes for another 15 minutes at minimum, this tornado warning there now into Anderson County, and it's right on the border. There's West Knox County, so it is close. So it's right along the waterway there. Just about to the west of downtown Oak Ridge. It's close. So if you are in Oak Ridge, please make sure you're in your safe spot the next couple of minutes, so it's right on the top of you. Bately, 819, Oak Ridge High School, if you know where that is. 819, St. Mary's School, same, and the American Museum of Science and Energy also at around 819, and this is moving very quickly. You don't have a lot of time, moving northeast at 56, and this has that confirmed tornado tag on it like earlier because it was reported by a spotter, most likely was illuminated by the lightning strikes. That's about the only way they would have been able to see it, with it being dark now and with the heavy rainfall that we've had across the area. So again, that's definitely been the main one we've been keeping an eye on here lately. I know there are some other severe thunderstorm warnings out there. We will focus on those. Margot, I think there are a couple of tornado warnings coming out still to our west, but not impacting us in Middle Tennessee, Van Buren County, so just out of our area, but we need to watch those as well. It's going to be like this all night. Unfortunately, we're going to see these storms that develop. They're going to race to the north and east. They can quickly have a little spin up like what we've seen. You may get a funnel cloud or tornado reported, and you need to be ready and get into your safe spot. And that's kind of what we've seen with these cells. So again, this one's getting really close to Oak Ridge right about now at 818. Y12 the same. Highland View School 819. The Oak Ridge High at 819. And the American Museum of Science and Energy also at about that time. So again, moving very fast, northeast at 56. Doesn't give you much time with these storms moving through. Still looks like it has some hail with it, this darker gray, almost black shading showing up within that. Margot, keep an eye on that one near Kingston, just south of there if you don't mind, please. That one's looking a little interesting as well, so she'll watch that one. But we do want to focus on the one that does have the tornado warning with it still at this point. Again, very close to the Oak Ridge area. I'll zoom in so we can see some of the areas. If you live there, you'll be familiar with these. There's Linden Elementary, there's Norwood Elementary, Highland View School, there's the Bately community, Oak Ridge itself along Highway 62, pretty close to the high school. There's Oliver Springs Highway, there's, what's that, Tri-County Road, or Tri-County Boulevard, and then the Oak Ridge Turnpike. So again, right over Linden Elementary. Probably getting some hail. You're probably hearing it on your roof. Let's hope that's all you're hearing. Again, with this rotation still fairly evident showing up here, very close to Y12 and downtown Oak Ridge as we speak. So it's showing Y12 at about a couple minutes from now. Highland View School, 821, Oak Ridge at 821, St. Mary's School about the same time. But again, this has been a pretty impressive storm, showing that rotation, maybe a little more broad or less tight than what it was earlier, but don't want to let our guard down, especially since this was a confirmed reported tornado earlier as it came out of Loudoun and Roane County and is now pushing up into Anderson County. Anything else, Margot, that storm back to the south and west?
Keeping an eye on that storm, also keeping an eye on the tornado warning that just came out for White and Van Buren counties.
Okay.
Because this is the same line that we saw earlier with our very first tornado warned storm in Cumberland County. It's moving through Pine Creek and it's heading north and east, so got to keep a very close eye on that. But taking a closer look, kind of just south of the confirmed tornado that you were just talking about, let's change our view here. So kind of keeping a very close eye in McMinn County, Monroe County, still along I-75 near Calhoun, Charleston, Sanford, just south of Riceville. There's some very, very, very broad rotation, but definitely something to keep an eye on right there, that appendage kind of coming together just a little bit. And really just along 75, if we just kind of take a look here, you can see multiple of these single kind of celled storms. They're almost by themselves, and they're really taking on those characteristics that we watch out for those quick spin up tornadoes. And again, this is along 75, so still along that same path that this confirmed tornado up in Anderson County is going through right now. That's where they're along. So there's definitely some storm fuel out there, definitely something to keep our eyes on, especially if they begin to come together. And again, watching this kind of one right here just south of Harriman, about to cross 40 as well over there. But I know that the National Weather Service is continuing to monitor this confirmed tornado. Again, this confirmed tornado is lasting until 8:45 p.m. Eastern time for Anderson County, and then next up we would move into Campbell, Union County, and eventually moving on up into southeast Kentucky. But again, we have these appendages, we have these single-celled storms, and this is going to continue to be a trend as we move forward into the rest of our Saturday night. There's just enough storm field, there's enough shear for us to see these really quick spin-ups. So again, watching everything very, very closely. But Ken, it looks like is that a new warning right there? No, that's the same warning in Loudoun County, so ignore that. But watching that appendage, my map didn't update for a second.
Yeah, still the biggest one we need to pay attention to is Anderson County. It's right over Y12 in Oak Ridge right now. That warning goes for another 20 minutes or so till 8:45, and about to cross over Highway 62. So right through the downtown Oak Ridge area, the way it's looking right now. Let me put an updated track on this right through here. This one definitely showing some very interesting signs here. So again, the tornado warning continues till 8:45. Heads up Jackson Square right about now. Dossett 823, so right through the central sections of Anderson County. Looks like it's going to be probably just west of Clinton, but I would still just be in your safe area to be safe. Clinch View around 827. And then the high school 827 as well. So it'll be close. I still want you to be safe, but Scarborough, probably you're still getting some pretty decent hail with this, I would imagine. Let me go back to the velocity scans so we can see inside. Again, we're basically looking for where the rotation is showing up within these cells, because you're not going to see them any other way, as heavy as the rain is with these storms. So again, right through here, there's 75, so we're going back through northwest Anderson County, back towards the Rocky Top area, Bryceville. You need to make sure you're in your safe area as well, as that storm's heading up in your direction. Again, I'd say the rotation's pretty close still, or just north of the downtown Oak Ridge area. We're getting pretty close. I don't want to say all clear yet for West Knox County. It's close. Probably still some small hail right along the waterway there, West Knox County. Yes, Margot.
Knox County, because I do see some rotation very outside, just south of that confirmed tornado warning. And again, that's crossing closer towards Kingston and Cherokee. So I know there's not a warning on that, but definitely something to keep our eyes on. I just wanted to point that out real quick.
Okay. And we need to watch this one still. I want you to keep an eye on that one that's west of Kingston. So she's going to be watching this one. I'm going to keep an eye on this one that we know had the tornado warning as well into Anderson County. We're going to get this all night. These guys are going to spin up very quickly across the area, and you are not going to have much time. So this is 8:23. This goes for 7 more minutes. I don't know that they're going to, I haven't seen if they're going to extend it yet. I would think that they would, most likely. But for now, we'll wait and see. But that one further to the south needs to be watched. Look at the value. We talked about that again, the virtual threat index number, up to 4.7. So this one has definitely showed some signs of maybe increasing a bit in intensity at minimum. It's got that very large hail with it, probably 1 inch in diameter or greater. At worst case scenario, we've got the rotation and the possible tornado with this cell, as it's been racing to the north and east at 60 miles per hour. So it doesn't give you a whole lot of time to get prepared with this storm moving through. Margot, anything else on that southern edge storm down towards Kingston? If you see something, just let me know. Just yell it out. It's okay. But she's going to keep an eye on that one. This is the one, though, that we really need to watch. It's kind of north of the I-40 area now, and it's south of 75. So right over the Frost community, Oliver Springs, Rocky Top up here, Bryceville, Windrock Mountain, Buffalo Mountain, if you know where those are, the recreation park, the four-wheeling park up there. We're getting close to there. Hopefully there's nobody up there camping. If so, maybe just give them a heads up, give them a call. Make sure they are in a safe spot as well, just in case. We're going to see these throughout the night, though, as I mentioned. So heads up Dutch Valley School, 828. Granite, 830. Cedar Flats, 830. Blowing Springs, 831. And Bryceville, as I mentioned, 831. So that's the northern sections up there, northwest Anderson County. Still looks like some hail, especially where that darker black shading is across the area. Easily, I would imagine some quarter-size hail, if not bigger. And look at the track over the past hour. It's kind of run right along that. So that means it's got a good updraft with it, or rising air or rotation. Yes, Margot?
They're saying rotation is weakening on that confirmed tornado warning. So for Anderson County, they're going to go with a severe with a tornado possible tag.
Okay, so that's, again, probably coming up here in a couple of minutes. They'll let that confirmed expire. It doesn't look quite as tight the rotation did earlier. I would imagine there's still some hail with that, though. Pretty noisy. So any of these communities kind of heading your way, you're probably going to be hearing some hail headed your way. Leinert's at 8:30, Dutch Valley 8:30, Minersville 8:32, and Blowing Springs at 8:33. A lot of lightning with this as well, illuminating the sky. We've had 26 flashes just in this view in the past 15 minutes. So we'll see. They're saying maybe not quite as tight a rotation. I would tend to agree with that, especially if we look at it just over the past 30 minutes, how it looked very potent as it crossed I-40 and went through the Oak Ridge area. Did not have any reports yet, thankfully. I hope we don't get any of damage. But again, at one point, this was a confirmed tornado. Right now, the rotation, what's left of it, looks like it's near Frost right about now. Looks like it'll be Dutch Valley 8:30, the school 8:31, Cedar Flats at 8:33. Again, at minimum, you're going to be seeing hail, maybe an inch in diameter, or probably just under, I would say, maybe dime-sized hail, and some very gusty winds, 50, 60 miles per hour. So it looks like they will probably, again, replace the tornado warning with a severe thunderstorm warning with the tag, like Margot mentioned. What I mean by that is at the end of the message, it'll say, tornado possible. And that has certainly been the case with these. So here's kind of a wider view. I'll put this radar into motion from the past 30 minutes. We've not had a lot other than some rain in and around Knoxville, but it's these individual cells. It doesn't take much to cause these to spin up and possibly produce tornadoes like we've seen. But these individual cells will have to keep watching as they get further north, especially up into northern Anderson, maybe even Union, portions of Campbell, Claiborne County, and the ones to the south as well. But once this warning expires, this tornado warning, I guess we will send it back to regular schedule programming at this point once that's done. And if another tornado warning comes out, we will come back on the air. But for now, let's just hang with this one a little bit longer. This cell pretty close to Dutch Valley right about now, so that's in kind of the north central sections of Anderson County. Granite at 8:31, Westwood Estates 8:32, and Bryceville at 8:34. Bryceville, a very hilly community as well. So with all this rain, watch out for flooding. That's going to be a case really for anywhere tonight. If you live in a terrain rich environment where you have a lot of hills, you have a lot of valleys, you're gonna see this rainfall cause some issues at times. Some of these areas have already seen, just from the morning round, some 1 to 2 inch rainfall amounts that we had across the area. So yeah, certainly going to be a problem in some areas for sure. Margot, what else do we see? Anything back towards the south and west? Anything with that Van Buren storm getting closer to Cumberland County, or are we okay at this point?
They're continuing the warning in Van Buren and White counties there.
Okay, that's just west.
There's still looks to be some rotation. It's kind of entering into the outer edge of the radar there.
Okay.
I'm also keeping up with the slight rotation that's being seen closer towards 40 near that, just past to the Kingston area, moving kind of into that confirmed tornado warning slightly. It looks like it's broadening as well, but it looks like that rotation is kind of closer towards the Century Acres community, as well as the Cries community just south of the Blair community. I think that's definitely something to watch for that area. And again, that's just north of 40 there, entering in towards Anderson County.
As well, please.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see that
right
now.
there along I-40 between Rockwood and Crab Orchard. That's one that we may need to keep a close eye on as well. Let's see, we got a report out of Oak Ridge, some 1-inch hail near Oak Ridge. Makes sense. You know, that was that cell that we were watching earlier. Still a tornado warning, still active till 8:45 for that. I've not seen them drop that, Margot. Yet. We'll see what they do with that, but let's still focus on this one. It's about to go outside of the warned area. Come back to me if you could, Connor. About to come out of the warned area. So there's I-75 in northern Anderson County. There's Norris, to put this into perspective. So if you're south of that, Oak Ridge looks like for now you're in the clear from this warning. You're okay to come out of your safe area for now. Wouldn't go too far away. Again, like everybody else, you just got to be ready as these storms come through your area. But not quite the rotation we were seeing earlier between Clinton and Seaver Flats. All right, yeah.
About Crab Orchard.
It's going to be that cell. So I'll let you get ready for that one, and we'll send it over here in just a minute. But that cell kind of caught my eye. Right there along I-40 between Rockwood and Crab Orchard, these quick little spin-ups, that's what they are. And again, it doesn't give you much time when they come out. So you need to make sure, again, you're kind of in your safe spot when these warnings do come out. So Margot, I'll let you take over that one if you don't mind.
Yeah, I've got it. Right now it is moving north at about 50 miles an hour. So these storms are really moving, Ken.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're actually putting that warning a little bit further south in Cumberland County near Grassy Cove and Dogwood, not near the I-40 corridor there near Crab Orchard and Daysville, but we're going to go ahead and put a track on this, kind of get it close to what areas will be kind of affected next. So again, right now we're being impacted by some pretty gusty winds in Cumberland County. There is a tornado warning out there now for the area, and this lasts until closer to about 8 p.m. Central Time, so 9 p.m. our time. We have about 30 minutes. But the next areas that will be affected by this storm will be Daysville, close to Watson, Deerwood, Pine Orchard, and then Obed Junction. So definitely something to watch out for, and you can see the kind of broad rotation that's occurring just over 40 near Crab Orchard, in between Crab Orchard and Daysville, and there's also some rotation at the farther south end near Dogwood and Alway. So again, we're seeing a lot kind of going on right now. And again, this is going to continue to move north and east at about 60 miles an hour. So a very quick storm. So we've got multiple warnings here in East Tennessee. This is a new one. This is for Cumberland County. And again, this is going across 40 near Crab Orchard, Daysville, close towards Dorchester Golf Course and heading towards Frankfort, Catoosa, and then eventually Wartburg, entering into Morgan County. So definitely have to keep a very close eye on that. But right now, this is the only warning for Cumberland County until 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. Ken?
Yeah, Margo, what looks like what they've done, they'll cancel that warning here shortly. That was the tornado warning, and they've changed it and extended it to a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to be through Anderson, eventually Union, and at least southern sections of Campbell, probably the eastern side of Campbell County. That's going to go until 9:15. So basically what they're saying is the rotation is not as pronounced as what it looked like earlier, but there's still the possibility we could see that recycle at any point. So again, that's what we've had with these warnings as they've come out. I'll kind of turn everything off there. So right here, between Clinton and Norris along I-75. Still going to be some decent sized hail with that storm for sure. Crossing I-75 right now. We don't have a TDOT camera that far north, but if there were, that's what you'd be seeing most likely. So heads up, Union County, especially southwest Union, southern sections of Campbell County as well. Right between Maynardville and La Follette. That's where that storm's going to be going, producing hail potential. Anyway, we may see a tornado at some point. Again, recycling with this, but I don't see that here, at least in the short term, but it definitely needs to be watched. In fact, wait a minute. I want to watch that area right through there, probably between high school and the Anderson County High School. And Anderson County High School, right through there. That would be the area. I saw a quick the last little frame there show the possibility. So yeah, right through here, about to cross I-75. That may be something to watch as well. So that's what we're talking about. You have to just analyze the radar. They come up so quickly. These quick spin ups can cause issues, and that definitely is a formidable looking cell right through here, about to cross over I-75. So again, that's going to push north quickly. The warning about to expire, the tornado warning, this one goes to late 45, but they were saying this cell again is moving out. They will let that expire. That is not severe at this point to the southwest of Oak Ridge, but certainly some very heavy rainfall with that. So I want to point that out. Margot's keeping an eye on that cell in Cumberland County. Margot, do you have more on that? Because that's really our active tornado warning right now.
So they originally had it for Cumberland and Fentress, but they went ahead and canceled it for Fentress because the storm is moving north and east, so it's going to go into Morgan County eventually, which is Morristown, National Weather Service out in Morristown, their county that they handle. So we'll have to wait and see if they're expecting to extend this, but kind of watching this broad rotation in the northeastern half of Cumberland County. It's really starting to broaden out, which is a good thing, but also do want to point out that this is on the outer edge of the radar coming from Nashville. And if we take a look at the radar coming from Morristown, you'll kind of see what we mean when we say it's on the outer edge. You can see the kind of line right there. It's just kind of hard for the radar to be able to tell what's going on right there, but we do see some sort of rotation kind of closer towards Dorchester Golf Course, Rogers, Fairfield Glade, and closer towards the Heather Hurst Golf Course. Again, all of this in Cumberland County. And this warning is lasting until 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, we're going to watch everything. It looks as though they may be going with a severe thunderstorm warning as well for Morgan County with this one.
Okay,
I don't know if I've seen anything about that, but
it'll probably come out here shortly. Anderson County, Norris, we got a 1/4 inch size hail report from there. What I'm doing, I'm still wanting to watch that little area just to the east of Clinton, right along I-75. Okay, so this is still the severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to go for northern Anderson and up into Union County. That's going to go until 9:15. But as Margot mentioned, these still have that what we call a possible tornado. They put that at the end of the warning, meaning at any point these things could spin up and possibly produce a tornado. But I'll watch the tail end of this. I showed you that just a second ago. Worth watching for sure. But heads up, I would still want to be in your safe area, okay? I know it's just a severe thunderstorm warning, but these things could spin up quickly. So heads up, Norris. Again, just had a 1/4 inch hail report from there. Wouldn't be surprised if you get a little bit more. Heads up, AG. That's going to be right there on the border between Union and Campbell County. Alder as well. Then we'll get up towards La Follette. There's Big Ridge Elementary, that's in Union County. It may be just west of you. Luttrell not impacted by this, nor is Coreyton or Blaine. So at this point, not impacted by this cell, but still needs to be watched. We're showing an 80% chance that there's hail, 70% chance that it's severe hail. By definition, severe hail is 1 inch in diameter or the size of a 25-cent piece, a quarter. That or bigger. So it's borderline, but with 1/4 inch size hail, that's below severe limits there in Norris. but wouldn't be surprised if some areas had slightly larger hail than that. But still, heads up Norris right about now, the middle school and elementary at about 40 next minute. Gooseneck at 8:42, and right now we're at 8:46. That has been a very impressive storm. We've been watching this for a long time, making its way. I don't see tight rotation with this, but certainly could be some 50-plus mile per hour winds. That wouldn't surprise me with that. Again, I saw that a little bit maybe earlier right there at the edge, maybe trying to spin up, but it didn't look like it ever materialized into anything else. Margot, anything else that you're seeing at this point?
So Morristown just expired the tornado warning for Knox and Anderson counties,
Okay.
But we still have that warning for Cumberland County, so we're still going to remain on air. This is what we do. We remain on air whenever there is a tornado warning for our viewing area, and I just kind of I took a zoomed out look for our viewing area. The areas where we have those tornado warned storms, again, are those single celled storms. You can see just the reds, the single of the reds. That's where we're watching for those kind of appendages. We're watching for common denominators to be able to tell, hey, there's some rotation here, but still we have that Knox County and Anderson County tornado warning expiring, and then the warning, oh, it looks like they took away that warning, Ken, for Cumberland County.
The tornado warning?
Yes, the tornado warning.
Okay, so at this point, the only one we'll have left, they've expired the one in Anderson County? Is that correct?
I think that was the warning, not the confirmed warning. Let me look.
I would think at this point there would be no active tornado warning in Anderson County.
Yeah.
Let's double check that. It would definitely still be with this system. And I don't like how that looks. You don't like to see the little appendage there near Norris. So please just let's stay in your safe area. Again, I know it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but let's just keep an eye on this. It's about to cross over into Union County. That's the line with Union County right here in Campbell County. There's Paulette Elementary, Gooseneck, Belmont. That's moving northeast right over Norris right about now. Let me just take a look to see if there is just a little bit of rotation showing up there, right on the border there between Knox, Anderson, and Union County. So getting back kind of northwest of Gibbs community. It's not strong, but just the shape of it has me concerned. We'll see. We'll let it go through a couple of cycles here. Definitely going to be some hail. This thing has had that history of hail. We've had numerous reports, and you can see over the past hour, it's tracked hail right along that through Oak Ridge. Clinton had that quarter-inch hail report there, and will now be making its way up right on the border there between Anderson and Union County. So that's our only active tornado warning. Is that correct?
I'm not.
Or is it done? I think it's got to be done.
It's got to be done because it's definitely in Norris.
Yeah, the cell has moved north. So at this point, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just say that one expires at like 8:45. I don't know if you can message them, Margot, and see what they
I'll
say.
message them.
I think it expires at 8:45 anyway. It does. So maybe they were just going to let it roll off. In the next 2 minutes, we'll see if it does drop. And if that happens, we will probably go back to regular scheduled programming for now. But that'll also give us a couple more minutes to get another scan in on this one that's right between Norris and Belmont, heading up into western Union County. So again, just follow the left-hand side, pick out your community or what you know is nearby your community, and you should just be ready, be getting in your safe space. Again, this is not tornadic, but could quickly spin up at any point just because of the environment that we are in. So White Hollow at 8:54, Irwin 8:56, Welch Crossroad at 8:57. Belmont coming up in the next 2 minutes, and that's right on the border. Belmont is between Union County and northeast Anderson County. So it looks like now if you are along and south of 75 in Anderson County, you're probably in the clear. But this area, again, crossing right over Union, Anderson County, that still is going to be a bit of a concern across the area. Let me just do a quick little check back to the south. If anything else is popping up, nothing immediately. We do have some rain in and around Knox County, but other than this one little cell, I don't see anything that's jumping out at me. Even the one that's back here near Oak Ridge, that is just rain at this point. I don't see anything that's showing up severe with that cell at this point. Even this one that we've been tracking here, going right on the Anderson-Union County border, probably the hail core may be a little smaller.
Ken.
Yes.
They just answered me. They said it's correct that they expired the confirmed tornado warning in Anderson County, and the only warning that they have right now is a severe with a TOR tag on it. So.
Okay. So that should be disappearing any second now from our system here. So that's the only one that we do have. So let's do this. We will go ahead and send it back to regular schedule programming for now. But if we do need to come back on, we certainly will, and we'll keep that crawl also going at the bottom of our screen. So again, make sure you stay weather aware, have your devices charged and ready to go in case you lose power across the area. And again, know what your plan is if you need to go to your safe space beforehand. Don't wait till the last minute if a warning comes issued in your area. But I would say, especially the western half of Union County, just be ready in case this does turn tornadic, and we will come back on and track it for you in case it does. But for right now, we'll go ahead and send you back to regular schedule programming.